Today is Friday, December 4th, 2020. We're at 3550 Old Plank in Milford. We're going to do a diagnostic televise through the toilet in the basement bathroom. A portion of the piping has been replaced when the house was redone. There's still some of the original cast iron under the floor going out to the septic tank. There was an issue right by the septic tank that was causing flooding problems. That's been taken care of. So we're going to do a diagnostic televise at this time to get an idea of the length of cast iron that's still left and also the condition of the piping. Again, as you can see, we're going to go through the toilet. This is in the basement bathroom, and as you can see, this is PVC pipe. Again, a portion of this piping has been replaced when the house was redone. As you can see here, right just about at 10 feet is where we tie into the cast iron. You can see we have a little bit of paper here at the bottom. As you can see, we do have build up a scale that's in the piping. This line should pretty much go straight out to the septic. You can see we have a Y here in the 2 o'clock position. Okay, you can see here we're at the opening to the septic. We are going to flow some water through to see we got good water flow and try and flush some of the paper and stuff out of the drain before we pull back and record. Okay, we flushed the toilet several times. We do have the bathroom sink running. Also, we're flushing water down a floor drain in the mechanical room. We're going to pull back here and see if we've got all the paper and everything to flush out of the drain so we can get a better look at the cast iron. As you can see, it's almost 70 feet from the toilet opening. There is a stack just past the kitchen that we believe we would have to access as a second area to do the epoxy coating and the descaling. As you can see, we have good flow coming through. And it looks like we've cleared most of the paper out. We are going to pull back to the PVC, then we will go ahead and get all the water to drain down, and we will do a second recording. We We'll also locate where that stack comes in. We believe it's possibly the stack that was at the 2 o'clock position that you've seen. We just want to verify for purpose of distance when we're epoxy coating.
Do you want me to keep it running?
No, we can go ahead and shut it off. I pulled back and it actually looked like we've moved most of the paper downstream. Okay, we're going to televise again. We currently have a sink running from the farthest stack that was tied into. It picks up the master bath and it picks up a main bathroom. We have one sink running so we can identify that Y. We believe it's possibly the Y that was at 2 o'clock because we're going to need to descale. There is a clean out in the wall with a chrome cover. We're going to need to descale from that area and then also epoxy coat from there to the septic. Here you can see we have a Y again at the 2 o'clock. This was water was coming through here when we were flushing the floor drain in the mechanical room. Okay, as you can see just ahead is our Y, just about 44 feet. We're going to try and pull back here and see if we can get a view. We still have some paper sitting in the drain, but this is our Y that picks up. As you can see, we have flow right here. This is the Y that picks up the upstairs master and a main bath. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue our televise again out to the septic tank.
Are you recording?
Yep. Okay, we do have a sink running at this point. We do want to look at some areas. We want to get a better look at the bottom of the pipe, especially closer to where the line was tied into the PVC. So there's going to very well be some areas where we're going to stop, let the water run through, and see if we can get a better look at the bottom. Being there's some areas where we do hold a little bit of water, and that could just very well be due to the scale buildup in the line. Okay, we currently have the basement kitchen running. It does come through in PVC, but we believe that it is still partially old cast iron. We're going to push out to the first Y and see if that is tied in. Okay, we're going to continue on downstream to see if we can tell where the kitchen was tied into. Okay, you see the water is actually coming from upstream of us in the PVC. We're going to stop water use at this point so we can isolate where the basement kitchen comes in.
Yeah.
Okay, we pulled the lid on the tank. We were trying to see the location of the basement kitchen. The sink was draining. It had no issues keeping up with water flow. We pulled the lid. As you can see now, we got light into the tank. We looked into the tank with a flashlight. There are no other openings in the tank other than the one that we're currently in. So we do not believe that the kitchen is tied into this system at all. We are going to go ahead, we are pulling back at this time. We have turned the kitchen off. This will be our final video. There was an area, we're going to see if we can see it again as we pull back, on the right hand side, right around 4 to 5 o'clock, where it looked like there was possibly some cracking. Again, we can't tell if it's in the pipe itself or if it's in the just in the scale buildup where it's cracked. We're going to try and see if we can show that again. As you can see, we do have a lot of loose scale that we're pulling through. Here you can see is one of the areas right up here on the side. It's hard to tell without actually doing descaling of the pipe to get it clean to see the condition of the pipe, and if there are issues that would need to be addressed before doing the actual epoxy coating. Again, you can see the Y just ahead of us in the 2 o'clock position. This would be the second Y that we would use. Picks up 2 bathrooms, and we would descale from the clean out tee over to the main run, and then also epoxy coat to the septic from that area. Again, you can see this is the area we were talking about. You can see right about 3 to 4 o'clock position. You can see a small crack that's running along the side of the pipe. We're not sure if that's actually the piping itself cracked or if that's just in the scale. But you can see it runs down along the side here for a few feet.